What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Casey and this is my Jeep. And on this upload, I'm going to take you for a walk around of all the modifications that I have done on my Jeep. Why am I doing this? Well, I've decided to put the Jeep back to stock. I find that wheeling this highly modified rig is just far too easy on the trails, and I would have a lot more challenge and fun if I was running a stock vehicle. As well, I haven't seen anybody on YouTube make a video about demodifying their Jeep, and so I thought that would be a lot of fun. Now, as the parts come off of my rig, I'm going to put them up for sale. So make sure you watch to the end of the video. I'm going to put an email address up that you can send me a message to if you're interested in any of the parts that you see here in this video as they come off of my Jeep and I put them up for sale. So with all that said, let's get started with this walk around. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video at the end, make sure you leave a like. That'd be appreciated. So I figured, guys, the front would be as good a place as any to start. So let's start with the bumper. I'm running an Evo Manufacturing Pro Series bumper. This has been a really solid bumper for everything that I've needed it for. It has nice big shackle tabs on the front. I've got a pair of Casey Highlights Flex LED lights with red rings. There's one on each side. I also have a set of these that are up top. Right here, I also have a 10-inch version of the same light. This just has a perforated cover on it right now, and this has the spot and wide beam. Sitting below here, I have the Warn Platinum 10S winch, and this is completely wireless winch. There is no clutch release on it for free spool. It's all done through the wireless remote, which is really kind of handy. So you never have to get out here and mess around with your winch. On the front, I've got a Warn Fairlead and the new Sidewinder that I'm testing out. I haven't been out with this yet, but I do want to give it a good test drive. I've also got the optional skid plate on the bottom of my Evo bumper here as well. This protects the cross member. These are my custom Casey Highlights signal and running lights. I did do a video on how to wire these so that they do work with both your running lights on a lower dimmer setting, and they flash properly without any fast flashing when you turn on your turn signals. These here are the Casey Highlights Gravity Pro lights. These are really good. The low beam is not super bright, but it has a nice sharp cutoff to avoid getting flashed. But when you turn the high beam on these, you barely even need a light bar. They're super bright. Underneath here, running a Sport Series sway bar. I took the Rubicon sway bar off as I prefer to disconnect my sway bar end links. I'm using a rock crawler with quick release pins up here in the front. Below this, I have a Synergy chromoly tie rod. Attached to this, I am running a Redneck Ram, which has been awesome with these 37-inch tires. This really just takes any of the pressure off of your steering components and reduces the likelihood of anything breaking. Right above that is the Synergy chromoly tie rod. And this is adjustable, and this allows me to make steering corrections and accommodate for the lift that I have in the Jeep. Behind the sway bar end links, I have 3.5-inch rock crawler off-road springs, and right now my Jeep is sitting at exactly 3.5 inches of lift. Given all of the weight that it has on it, it weighs almost 6,000 pounds with me in it, and it's sitting at a true 3.5-inch lift. When it comes to shocks, I'm running Bilstein 5100s. I haven't had any problems with these leaking, and it gives me a pretty good ride overall on both the street and the trail. And there's those new Crown Automotive brake lines that we put in with the TerraFlex brake line keepers sitting in behind them. So I've replaced all of my factory control arms, so all 8 of them on the front and the rear are all rock crawler X-Factor adjustable control arms with greasable ends on them. I am running 37 by 12.5 inch on a 17-inch wheel. These are BF Goodrich KM2s. They have treated me really well. I do air them down to 6 or 8 PSI when I'm off-roading, and they are sitting on a set of trail-ready beadlocks with the larger ring design than you would see on some of the others. The only thing that I do have issues with is airing down. It can be a bit challenging to get my air down tool into this behind the rock ring, but overall it's not too bad. Up here, these are the Evo Manufacturing steel fenders, as well as we have the Evo Manufacturing boat side bombers. And a lot of people ask me what these things here are. These are KC Highlight Cyclones, and these are tied into my reverse circuit. And what I have is, when I go into reverse, that illuminates all of my rear tire and fender area. And I really like this when I'm going through the trees at night. I can see exactly where my rear tire is, because I'm usually bumping in or hooking around trees. Up on the A-pillars, I have another pair of KC Flex lights. These are the wide beams, and I just have the Lexan covers on them with perforated vinyl to block them out. This was a really nice upgrade for venting out heat. This is the Evo Manufacturing hood breech, and while it did require a lot of cutting, it looks really nice when it's done, but you can see the heat radiating out of the engine when my Jeep is running. And even right now, I just had it running, it's fairly warm. Now, I won't go into the engine. I really don't have any engine modifications on my Jeep other than an AGM battery. So underneath the Jeep, I have a set of Evo Manufacturing steel skid plates. They're really a low profile design. They go over top of the oil pan and the transmission oil pan, and then they're bridged together with a plate, and then you get the exhaust skid here, which leads to my exhaust, which I need to take off still. I don't know if you can see that giant hole in it, but looks like we smashed the exhaust pretty good and ripped the hanger off and put a hole in it. I do have another muffler and some new hangers in the garage. And up here we have some more Cyclones that I've mounted with magnets holding them down onto the bottom of the boat side bombers. This makes for both really good courtesy lights as well as rock lights when we're out off-roading. You can see the powder coating has really taken some abuse on my boat side bombers. Moving along to the back, we've seen our latest video, the Evo Manufacturing rear corner rock skins. These are the aluminum versions. I still need to take those off and get them powder coated. And then on the back, we have a 4-gallon Rotopax, my trusty $20 shovel that I bought at a local parts store, a couple of Gator grip mounts, and this is all attached to the Poison Spider body mount tire carrier. Below it, we have the Crawler Concepts. This would be comparable to like the Poison Spider BFH, which is a really low profile bumper. This was one of the first mods that I put on the Jeep. It did require cutting the cross member off of the rear, but which I do regret doing, because now that really limits my ability to change this bumper out without welding on a new cross member. As well as we noticed when testing out the new Warn Hyperlinks, with their larger section here, they weren't able to fit on these smaller tabs. And so anyways, this is not, I don't think I would really recommend this bumper to anybody. I would look around at some of the other manufacturers. On the back, my trusty mud flaps. These are the Evo mud flaps with a quick disconnect. I run these around the city to try to reduce any rocks being sprayed, as well reduce any attention from the local law enforcement. And these come off with a quick release pin in about 30 seconds, and I just throw them in the back when I'm out off-roading. Now, I get a lot of questions about my top. I am running an Off-Road Heroes fastback top. There's some advantages and disadvantages that I've found with this top that I really do like and I don't like. So why I really like this top is it doesn't have a plastic frame around the top of the doors. These are metal bars. It's called a frameless design. And why I like this is that I end up hitting a lot of trees and bashing into things. And if you have the plastic door surrounds with a best top or even the factory soft top, they get broken a lot, and then you're always replacing them. So I like this frameless design with the metal bars underneath, because it allows me to get into those tighter spaces without risking breaking anything. Now, what I don't like about this is when the weather gets nice, I like to have these rear corner pieces off and the back off and just run with the top. The issue with this is that the way that this hooks on is that it is so tight and pulled into these tracks, and you need to take this top panel off in order to get your quarter panels off. that I just end up never doing it because I've had some ripping with it, so I just leave it alone. And then basically I just run with these pieces on, and I roll up this center section when the weather's nice like right now. So we'll be rolling that up, and then you know, it gets more open air, but not as nice as opening up the whole rear. But on the flip side, when I go off-roading, I like to have these quarter panels on because it keeps the mud and it keeps my gear that I have in there dry and fairly clean. Now, before I open up the trunk, basically on the back here, I have a Rugged Radios VHF antenna mounted here. This is for my Gorilla whips. I'm going to be installing a CB radio antenna probably in the very near future, so keep an eye out for that video, as I need a CB radio to go to Jeep Jamboree, which I am planning to attend in June down in Tillamook, Oregon. So in the back, this is where I keep all of my gear. I haven't really done a video yet on this, but I have a pair of Viair 480C air compressors hooked up to a 10-gallon tank, and this is a 200 psi system. So usually what I like to do is I like to get the tank filling up as I'm heading off the trail. I'll fill up 2 tires really quickly and let the system recharge and fill up this tank again while I connect my sway bars, and then I go do the other side. And this system works really fast. What I don't like though is it does take up a lot of space in here. I think I've showed this off in a video before, but this is a Tuffy security enclosure. So basically, with this being enclosed on all 3 sides, when this tailgate is closed, there is no way to get into this cargo area where I have all my tools and recovery gear, because you need to be able to pull this out in order to lift it up. So once you pull it out, you can lift it up, you put it back in place, but as long as this tailgate is closed, you can see that it stops that and prevents that. So when this is locked, there's no way to get into this cargo area. This is a really great piece for protecting all your gear if you like to, well, like I do, have a soft top all year round, and then you don't have to be worried about parking anywhere. So as far as axles and driveline, on the back here I have the rock crawler adjustable track bar along the top, and this is just a factory Dana 44 with a Dynatrac cast iron cover on it, and I have the Dynatrac Pro Grip brakes on all 4 corners, which make a huge difference in stopping. Now I've re-geared my Jeep with 513 gears, which to me is the perfect re-gearing for a 3.8 liter with an automatic transmission. Now this does vary a little bit depending whether you have 3.8 liter, 3.6 liter, automatic or manual. You may want to go with a slightly lower gear ratio. And just another quick look up at the front. So when I first started off-roading, I did bend my Dana 44. So this is a Pro Rock 44 that I had built. It has chromoly axle shafts in it and 513 gears, obviously to match the rear. And of course, once again, the Dynatrac Pro Grip brakes up front. And this has been a really good setup for me since I added it. And it really just gives me a lot of peace of mind that with running these 37-inch tires, I'm not going to have any more repeats when it comes to damaging my front axle. Now, as far as what's on the inside, I did a really extensive review of my driver's seat setup. I will put a link to that up in the corner of this video. But basically I have my tablet mount off to the side. I have my wireless phone charger so that I can use Google Maps while I'm driving. I have my, you can't see that. I have my Trail Dash 2 tuner, which also controls my lights and air pumps with its relay system that it has. And then of course, some handles to get in. I had a lot of questions about what this thing is. This is a quick release for a fire extinguisher. If I put a fire extinguisher in my Jeep, I can put it right here below me. I always like to carry a couple around, and you can pull this pin and release it. This is where I store my winch remote for the Warn winch. This is a great little spot. I just keep it plugged in to a USB cable. Obviously got to have GoPro batteries constantly charging, because when I'm out vlogging on the trail, I blow through batteries quite quickly, and I just have this wired up to a USB and 12-volt cigarette adapter, which I've just plugged into here, and that just lets me power a bunch of my accessories. And my seats are covered with Trek Armor seat covers. These are no longer in production, but the company that makes this same model, I think they might have bought Trek Armor. They are called Bartak, and they make these exact ones. They're called mil-spec seat covers. They're really awesome. You can pull these off in a couple minutes and wash them. They wipe down if you get mud on them, and they generally just look a lot better than what the factory comes with. Well, there you guys go. Quick walk around of the Jeep and all the modifications. If you made it this far in the video and you see the email address down below, you know I was just kidding. I'm obviously not going to take apart my Jeep. As fun as it would be to put it back to stock, you know, I really like it the way it is. I just wanted to do a fun little video for April Fools because I usually publish on Mondays, and that's when this video went live. If you guys have any questions about my modifications or things that I've done, or you're interested in doing them yourself, leave a comment or a question down below. I read all the comments, and I definitely try to answer every question that I possibly can. And you know, happy April Fools. As you can see, I am standing in a really nicely cleaned out and empty garage. Make sure you subscribe because I have a surprise coming to fill the garage up. It's not an off-road vehicle. I don't know what you guys are gonna think of it. Whether or not it sees much time on the channel, we'll have to wait and see. But anyways, I am going to be picking up something new, and I will be vlogging my taking delivery of it, and I'll see what your guys' reaction, and that'll determine whether or not it sees much airtime here on the channel. Anyways, hit that subscribe button if you're not already. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much. Make sure you have your notifications turned on so you don't miss any of my uploads. If you enjoyed this week's video, hit that like button. I do appreciate it. Comments and questions down below. I read them every morning and answer every single question that I possibly think I can provide some sort of help with. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next upload.